underground peasant climb to the top. Funny style on elevators could never fade us. I peep data stain anytime they congratulate us. Goggles is worn and bottles is popping. I'm Deion Sanders on haters, this ice bucket dropping over their head with it. They should have cred with it. You either fight or flight, I ain't one for the ledge living. I do it for the one that died but fed millions. With soul food flowed and stocked my bare kitchen. I'm liberated. I drew a
the weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather. And we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. On first down, they'll start out with Hubbard. And some space here. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercises before this one, and they're paying off.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. Play action. It's Darnold. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 16 more on that one and another first down. Their first possession of the game, and they're already going after double coverage.
That's a nice completion that can set the tone for things to come if they're able to keep finding ways to beat what the defense is throwing at them. They look like they're confident that they can get it done.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Darnold. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
To throw again on 2nd down. Darnold going to throw deep for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Falcons are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. They may have thrown the interception, obviously less than ideal, but I think they also sent a message that they're going to push the ball downfield in this one.
Yeah, not afraid to take their shots right away, huh? What was that, like a 9-9-9 route? 9 meaning go? Just went ahead and went for it. Didn't work out so well because it certainly appeared the defense was prepared. But I'm with you. Okay, so it didn't work this time. Doesn't mean we won't try it again later.
2nd and 13. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown.
But what a response by that
that defensive unit, Charles, because they just saw their offense throw the interception. They come out there, not only get an interception of their own, but they take it back for the touchdown.
I won't sing it because no one wants to hear that, but perhaps an early case of anything you can do, I can do better between these defenses. A lot of people came to expect the offense to light this game up, but so far, the defenses are stealing the show.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of, and all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And he takes it into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery and a touchdown for the Panthers. Gonzalez now to add the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. The partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. They'll look to throw. And complete to Drake London. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Well, they completed the pass but lost yardage, so they'll decline the penalty.
Perfect play for them, isn't it? Who needs a penalty? When you try and throw the ball, you don't even get it downfield, and they go ahead and snuff out the play. They'll take that as a result.
That's caught by Howard. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. The 40. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Carolina.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys fielded that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next week. Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And he takes it into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery and a touchdown for the Panthers. Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
The last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
Here we go.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Ready.
They'll set up to throw. He'll let one go deep for Howard. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Disrupting that play and dropping him was Arnold Ebiketie. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And take it right on the 30. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards there and a 1st down for the Falcons. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports.
Ready. Strike.
Back to throw now on first down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Well, this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the third time. Xavier Woods with a pick. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Pryor has it complete. A gain of 7 that time. Second goal.
Complete to number 18. A gain of 7 brings up second and goal at the Falcons' 3-yard line.
Hubbard going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on second down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Falcons are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. Jeremy Chin there defensively.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. 2nd and 5. Throw left side complete. That's Harris. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. He's got a man complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons.
Well, Charles, he's still a young single caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And he's got his man on the out route. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Wide open receiver complete.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
65 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. To throw is Darnold.
He'll dump this one off to Hubbard.
And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown.
Chuba Hubbard, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
Ready up.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line.
And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top 2 teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The end result, 21 yards. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
That's ready. Hey, full fury.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Let's go. Check you.
2nd and 2. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush.
Under pressure, they got him again. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
On 4th down, Bradley Pinion on to punt for the Falcons.
.43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and the Panthers will take over now 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Looking to throw again on second down. Darnold can't get away, and he's taken down. That sack was by Isaiah Oliver from his cornerback position. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now following the sack, Darnold and Carolina left with a 3rd and long. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. So on now is Johnny Hecker to punt this one away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it will be Falcon football.
Here we go.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his throw is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
There was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
And he fields it cleanly. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
And darn right, they did something to disrupt that timing.
He's going to look deep for more. And Darnold going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Well, Charles, they're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air. And, of course,
that his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Xavier Woods with a pick. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. A final shot before the break. Darnold dancing to his left. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. So we come upon halftime intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They're going to look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a toss. Hubbard going left. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Faking the give, Darnold. Targeting Moore, and he's got him on the crossing pattern. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 44-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Play action. It's Darnold. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead. Thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves them with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Moore, the man in motion. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Carolina. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Ritter and the Falcons need an answer, and a big play here on 3rd and long following the sack. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
2nd and 2. And now Chenault on the end around. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a 1st down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good work after the catch. Going to net them 23 and a 1st. Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the 4th quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, the Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
99 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Now Darnold. And his throw here's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. Straight ahead with Hubbard. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
The tackle made at the 40-yard line.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Now it's Darnold. And it'll be caught in the end zone for the Carolina touchdown by DJ Moore. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
Here we go, set.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. It's caught. Mitchell. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Complete to number 87.
Striker, 3-3.
At the 45-yard line.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That'll be caught. It's the tight end, Howard. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 38-yard line.
Ready, ready.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Out to his left. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And this complete to Mitchell. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Here's a 2nd and 7. Throw left side. There's London. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back to throw here. Fires the out route and completes it to Harris.
Here we go, here we go.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Ultra, ultra.
And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Desmond Ridder, a 4-yard touchdown scamper. And the Falcons get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that will cut this lead down to 25.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
They're in control here as they start 1st and 10 and appearing to have righted the ship following that 2-game losing streak.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
And they'll go again here with Hubbard.
Room here to run. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
117 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. And they'll run on 1st down with Hubbard. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Panther 1st down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And they'll try the air now with Darnold. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st. On 3rd down, here's a run by Hubbard.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down. Gonzalez's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. That ball caught by Slayton. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Hey, come here.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
You, yellow. Trail green. Hut, hut.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And now here is another interception. Xavier Woods with a pick. And the Panthers force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10.
A feather in the cap for the defender, picking off one of the league's better quarterbacks so far this season, and add another feather in the cap for the coaches, too. Excellent game plan, and they had their guys aware of his ability to roll out and how to defend against it.
And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
2nd down, another chance for Hubbard. And some room to roam now. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Carolina, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the